So, hello and welcome everyone. This is Sanjit Kanekar, coordinator for webinar. So, I hope everyone is doing good and safe at their home. So, before beginning, let me give a short introduction about SJ Innovation. Okay. So, SJ Innovation is operating since 2004, and there's one good news that today itself we are completing 16 years, 16 glorious year. Today is the anniversary of our company. So, we had started our head office in New York, and from New York, actually, we have begun and reached to such a level. So we have branches in Verna, Goa, Bangladesh, that is Dhaka and Sylhet, Ukraine, and currently the total employee strength is more than 140 members. So next we will see like what are the things which we do. We are basically involved in web designing, UI UX, web and mobile development, and quality assurance. Okay, so that was a short introduction about SGI. So, as you all know, we have come up with today's session that is on beginner's guide to PHP. So, this session is specially crafted for freshers and for the beginners. So, let me tell you one thing. This in this session we are not going to teach PHP as such, but because that is something we expect from you guys, but surely we are going to give you a brief introduction and we are going to discuss all those things that that industry expects from a fresher or from a beginner. So we are very sure that at the end of this session you will be knowing all those things that industry expects from freshers to start your career in web development and especially as a PHP developer. So today we have Trusha Sinai Desai as the speaker for the webinar. She is working as a software engineer from past 3 years in SJI. She has completed her graduation in information technology from Goa College of Engineering. And I feel she is the best person who can take you through the journey of beginners guide to PHP because she herself is working on PHP from past 3 years and she has been involved in different PHP projects. So without wasting much of the time, I would like to hand over this session to Trisha.
Hello everyone. Thanks for joining today's session. So since I'm already introduced, I won't waste my time by introducing myself again. So topics for today's session I've selected based on my knowledge as in the third year or fourth year, what knowledge if I had, it will be helpful for me at that time. So based on that, I have selected today's topics. So I hope this will be helpful for you all also. So let's start with the session. So, what is PHP exactly? PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. Why it is called Hypertext Preprocessor? Because what exactly happens? You PHP code is passed, but whatever output the PHP code is fetching you, you are putting it in a HTML code only and sending it back to the client server. So that's why it is Hypertext Preprocessor. So it is basically a server side scripting language. Okay, whatever things that are happening at the server end, to accommodate the operations at the server end, to make them dynamic, we use PHP. So basically, if we want to make a static website, then we don't need PHP. We just have our HTML where we put the static content and display it. But if we want to fetch data from database or store sessions, who has joined the who has opened an account on our website and stored the information of that person, then we will need PHP. So from a small tiny website to an entire big e-commerce sites, everything can be built with PHP. Okay, so many people are using PHP from many years, and still if you all go to see, 8 out of 10 websites are in PHP because it is very easy to create PHP websites because of the CMS and frameworks that PHP makes available for us. So 70% and above websites are made with PHP, and it is very easy to learn. The coding codes are based on C and Perl, meaning the syntax is somewhat similar to that, but it is made easy for the developers to develop the websites. So if you all want to learn PHP, there is a huge community. Many people are already into PHP and they have lot of resources available on the internet. So it is very easy for you all. If you all are stuck somewhere in learning PHP, then you all get lot of help. And it is very cost efficient because it is open source. You all can directly download WAMP or XAMPP and start building your PHP website. So let's just see what exactly happens behind the scene. So client web browser means Chrome or anything. So we just put the URL. That means we are requesting for the page. With the URL which we are putting in, we are requesting that page. So web server is also another machine which can fetch the pages, HTML pages. So when we download WAMP or XAMPP, which we are using usually, so we are just making our machine the server and the client browser also. So what web server will do when the page is requested? It will pass the PHP code. It will see if any operation is needed. So if you all are doing any queries to the database, you're deleting some data or you're fetching some data, it will get the data. It will put it in the HTML and pass it back to the web server so that the web server can present you with the HTML page. Okay, so this is the overview. So can anyone tell me any popular PHP websites which we use in our day-to-day life? Anyone?
You should just check the chat.
Yeah. One second. Yes, Facebook was originally developed in PHP, but now they are shifted to React, which is their own framework. Okay, Amazon, Flipkart. So let's just see which I have put over here. So everyone has used Yahoo, Wikipedia, everyone has used. So these are all made in PHP. These are some websites which I've selected. So Flickr is basically for photographers to share their photos with people they want to share it with. So MailChimp is email sending. So you all can make a nice template with nice design and send the emails. You all can integrate this with any other sites which you all want. Tumblr is for bloggers who want to share the information, travel blogs and everything. So WordPress is for creating PHP websites, but that CMS is alone made of PHP. Okay, and Wikipedia we have all used it, and we are using it now also. So Yahoo is for sending emails. So now most of y'all are from third year, fourth year. So I think y'all must be creating websites using PHP with WAMP and HTML, CSS and basic PHP. Okay. So their security issues and everything happens. So PHP is providing us with CMS and frameworks. We don't actually use PHP core code, but we use this CMS or frameworks which PHP makes available for us to create the websites. Few of the CMS are Joomla, WordPress, Drupal, Magento. And frameworks are Cake PHP, CodeIgniter, Zen Framework, Laravel, and there are many others. So I will tell you all what CMS and framework is. So CMS is something which there is a nice admin panel where you can directly go and change the theme. You can directly click on the page, add page, and everything is done for you. So easiest one is WordPress. So even a store owner can himself create the website for his store. So what are frameworks? Frameworks are they are just facilitating and giving you a standardized code format. So there are folders and you have to write the code in that structure only. So everything you are writing, the code you all are writing, but you all are getting the MVC framework for that. So let's see them one by one. So CMS stands for Content Management System. So as the name only tells y'all, so it is just for content management. So y'all can directly create the page in it. Y'all can add widgets and many other things. It gives the business owner the ability to manage the content of your website. So it is so simple to create the page that the business owner himself can do it. They don't need the developer for it. So then you do not have to rely on the developers to make changes to the websites. For some of the examples are, as we have seen, WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, and Magento. So I will just show you all the WordPress interface so you all know what exactly I am talking about. So let me know if you all can see. Can you all see this?
Yes, yes, Krishna, we can see.
Okay. So this is the admin panel of WordPress. So WordPress was originally developed for blogs. Okay, their e-commerce and all they exploded later when plugins and many things were created. Many people started using WordPress, so they created many more plugins and everything. So you can use WordPress for almost any website. And it is very easy to create websites with WordPress because if there is some tiny like for some resort and all, you all are making a website, then it'll just take 2 to 3 days with simple design, and maybe 3 to 4 days with complex very good design. Okay, so post we can create, then pages we can create. So let's just check. So this is one demo page which is there in the setup. So I'll just change this to show you. See, so making changes is this simple, just a click away. So there are also many themes available for all. So just apply that theme or activate that theme, then it will be available for all. So you all can add new themes also with this. So there are many themes available because WordPress was used from many years. So you all can add widgets. Menus also can be added directly. So, if you all have many pages, then you all can directly select the page and add it to the menu. Then there are many plugins also available. So if suppose I want a slider over here, then I can we can definitely code it ourselves, but slider plugins are also available. See, there are many plugins available. So you all can also restrict the access to users, check all the users. There are many settings available. So URLs, how URLs you all want to look, meaning the format. So you all can change that also. So as you can see, everything is just clicks away. But there are few shortcomings with this, because if you're using older WordPress version, then it is very likely that it can be security issues can happen and it can be get hacked. So it is very important to use the latest version of whichever CMS that you all are using. Even frameworks, the latest version, the better. And also you all have to check that you all are optimizing the speed yourself. So the website, if you all want it to be smooth and fast, then you all have to do the optimization. So, and maintenance has to be done regularly. So meaning, since there are many plugins available, we go on adding the plugins, and sometimes we don't even use the some of the plugins, so we just lose track of what we are exactly using and what we are not using. So it just adds on to the storage. And also the security issues can happen, because any of these plugins, if it is old and not updated, then it can be hacked. So it is very important to remove unnecessary plugins and themes. And also if you all want to meaning, many businesses like when their theme is different, okay, many other, these all the themes which are available, many other people can use them, the same ones. So they would want you all to do some modification to the theme which is existing or something. So there are few standards set by WordPress, so you all have to create the child theme, so that whenever later on if upgrades happen to the theme, it won't break your site. So all that you'll have to take care of. So second CMS which I would show you all is Magento. So Magento is for e-commerce purpose only, for only showing the static or very few pages of the website. It is not recommended because it is very heavy, and the server also has to be very fast for running Magento websites. So as you all can see, all the options are related to sales only. I'll show you all the dashboard first. So we can see the last orders are, what are the last orders, they are listed, and last search terms on the website, then top search terms. So all these are related to your shopping websites only. So we can see the orders, invoices, shipments, billing agreements, credit memos. So the orders are listed over here. Then let's check one invoice. So the format and everything is proper. So it is entirely for e-commerce only. So account information, billing, shipping address, then items which are invoiced. You all can directly print this and send it via email. So catalog, which you all can add products to the catalog. So we can add new products also. So we can make categorize the products. Then customer groups can be created. Customers, you all can edit the customers. You all can see who are accessing your website. Then many marketing features are available, like catalog price rules, cart price rules. These allow you all to, if suppose bill is above 5,000, then you all give a discount. All that rules you all can write over. So email templates and all you all can create. Then SEO, a few SEO and search are also available. So what we saw on the dashboard is from here. So search terms and everything we can see, most searched items and everything. So like how we did in WordPress, we can create the pages. Blocks are what we insert into the pages, and widgets, for example, sidebars and all we can create. Then we can select themes also. Default, there are only two themes, but you all can add the themes. and there in WordPress it is called plugins, but here it is called extension, whatever extension you all are making to the functionality. So you can draw reports also. Many reports are available directly. So tax, invoice, shipping, refunds, coupons, all the reports are readily available. Then stores, you all can create many different types of stores. In India, we deal with rupees, and languages are also different for different countries. So you all can change the currency based on the country, and also change the design or a discount for only one country. Everything is possible here. So many stores can be made. They have separate configurations. And what are attributes? Meaning you all have a product, suppose cap, then there are different colors of the cap. So the color is the attribute of the product. So you all can create many attribute sets and apply it to your products. So this is import export of the products is available, and also cache management, index management. This is all little technical. So cache management and everything we have to do. So we have seen Magento also. So let's go forward. So now I will show you some of the sites which SGI has done, so that you all get better understanding of what all is possible with this. So this is one Magento site. So you'll see how a beautiful site can be done with this CMS. So these are the attributes which I was talking about. So these are the extensions. This reviews is a separate extension. Okay, this is a coded thing. So second site we will check WordPress. So crafted email is a WordPress site. Then this is one Drupal site. Drupal is also a CMS like kind of WordPress, which has nodes as pages. You all can create the pages over there, but little difficult for customization. WordPress is the easiest among all the CMS to customize. Okay, then OpenCart is another CMS that is available. That is also for e-commerce kind of websites. So this is one Hull Forest site which gives information about the different kinds of woods. Shopify is another CMS that is also both. All of these have admin panel, nice admin panel. You all can create pages and everything. So this is also a e-commerce CMS. So we have seen what are CMS, and we have seen many different websites which we can create with the CMS. So frameworks with comparison with CMS. First question that you all will have is, meaning at least I had that question, if CMS is available and we can create a website in just 3-4 days, then why we have to code? Exactly why we have to learn to code, and why these frameworks are also there? So that questions answer you all will get in next slide. or when I will be showing all the example of frameworks. So let's just check what are frameworks. A framework is a user written custom code within a predefined set of rules. Okay, so there is a nice folder structure. There are controllers, models, and views. Um, you all must have heard of MVC frameworks. So uh, all the code related to database is written in the controllers. Then what is view? The HTML that you all want to render, that is written in the view. And models is the database. You all are defining the database in the model. So foreign keys, primary keys, which table is related and how it is related to other table, all that is defined in the models. So this allows developers to develop modules and applications using core library functions with PHP as the primary programming language. So here nothing is readily available for all. Everything we have to write code, everything we have to do, and also the CSS and HTML we have to handle. The developers can build a more customized website, but the site must be designed and maintained. Examples are Cake PHP, Laravel, CodeIgniter. So I will just show you the code structure of Laravel and Cake PHP. Can you all see?
Okay, sir.
Can you all see the file structure?
No, it is still showing the.
Okay, let me stop the share and reshare. Now,
Yes, yes. No.
okay. So this is a Cake PHP file structure. So as you all can see, many files and folders are available over here. So controllers are where we write the code to make the queries to the database or writing any functions. So then a model has table entity and the relationships between the tables. Also the validations which we write, meaning server side validations are done. Then there are views and templates. So here we write the HTML code. From the controller, the code is passed to the views, whichever view it is for that controller's function. And then it fetches the information from there and renders in the view. So CSS and JS is written in the webroot folder. All the images are also stored in the webroot folder. So all these standards of each framework all need to follow when they are coding with these frameworks. They also make meaning we can routes we can write over here, meaning which controller goes to which view and how the URL should look. Everything we can handle over here. So the next one I'll show is Laravel. So it is somewhat similar to Cake PHP. Folder structure is similar to Cake PHP. Okay, so here also we have controllers. Then we have migrations. Migrations is what you all just write the structure of the database, run this migration command, and then the table will be created for you all. Okay, then there are other same way there are validations we can do in this in the models. Then we can relate the tables, uh, which table has other table or which table belongs to some other table, that we can write over here. Then there are views also. There it is called here, there it is CTB file, here it is blade. So each framework has its own syntax of PHP. Okay, then Laravel is better than PHP because there are many commands which are available for easy things. Like Telescope lets you see which queries which you have written is taking a lot of time, and then you can reduce the query time. So there is a Tinker available which lets you to see which table is related to other table and how it is related. Fetch the data using some other table only. And the syntax also has very nice shortcuts, like queries. We can write the custom queries which we write in MySQL, but also meaning if one table is related to other table, we can directly contain it. Okay, just write contain and include the table in the brackets, then those relation will be set up because we have set up in models. We have told the framework that which table is related to which other table. So that is one easy thing which is available over here. So let's go back to the slides. So I have selected two only, there are many sites which we have made, but I have selected these two so that you all will know the difference between the CMS and a framework. So this Christine Friend Properties is one website which is recently developed in Laravel. It just displays the properties. Okay, and second one is CSC, which I will show you all the admin panel. So let me just explain you what this project was about. Okay, so this business that is there, meaning the main business has many clients, client companies, and they have their own employees and workers and everything. So it is very meaning the functionality is very custom, meaning this was not possible in any of the CMS. Okay, if we had selected the WordPress, then it would have been a disaster because it was already tried in WordPress and I have seen the database of this. So what happened was, there is WordPress has its own database tables. So this functionality needed that many roles were there and many forms, and company has the access. Each client company has the access to his own data. They can give access to their workers and everything. So they tried to do this in WordPress, but they ended up in creating more tables. So WordPress has its own 13 or 20 tables. So additionally, more 20 tables were created. So you all can imagine how much redundant data was created over there. Okay. So it is very important to select based on the project which framework or CMS you all are going to use. So let's just see this project. So users and companies were listed for them. Then they wanted their own equipments to be registered, so vehicles and forklifts and all. They it's related to their business. So they wanted inspection forms which can be assigned to any of the companies and the workers can access it. So this was one dynamic forms which we have made available for them. Okay, this is drag and drop. Then they wanted groups of workers to be created and they wanted to assign the trainings to the those groups. So there is a manager for each group and everything. So it is very custom functionality that they wanted. Okay, so if there is a website of only 4 pages, suppose, then and there is nothing for sale on it, so then we cannot use Magento CMS. We cannot select the Magento CMS. It will just add on to the storage. We can definitely create that website in Magento, but Magento is for e-commerce. So we, if there is anything on sale, you all want to get the reports of the sales, then only we go for Magento. So same way we go for WordPress when there are very little customizations which we have to make. Simple websites with not much detailed thing. Then we can go for WordPress. And if it is completely customization, meaning as we saw in the CSC project, meaning it was completely related to that business only, and we could not find any extension or anything for that purpose. It was completely custom. So such type of projects we can select the frameworks. So now we have seen what are CMS and frameworks. So does that mean that we can skip learning the basic PHP and directly go for the CMS or framework? No, right? Because even if it is easy to create the website over there, at one point you all will have to code over there, because if there is a WordPress site and the customer which you all have wants some modification to one plugin which you all have installed, then again you all have to dig up in the WordPress code. Okay, so it has its own different syntax. So then again it will become difficult for you all to understand the WordPress syntax if you all don't know basic PHP. And frameworks, if you all want to go for frameworks, then each framework has its own syntax. So it will be easier when you all know the basic concepts of PHP, then you all learn the frameworks. So we have to first learn basic PHP, and we have to do the CRUD operations for that, meaning create, delete, update, and read. Read means views. So how we can do this with MySQL or Oracle data, that you all have to learn. So good sites to learn, meaning to learn PHP, there are a lot of resources available on the internet. W3 schools, tutorials points are very good resources which are there. Means they tell you everything, how to do the MySQL DB connection, how to get the data, how to edit the data, how to display the data, everything. So you all don't have to buy any special course for this. You all can just go decide to learn PHP and learn it. Then for the interviews also, meaning if you all know Laravel or PHP, you all will write in the CV that you all know this. But the for the interviews directly, the question won't be based on these frameworks. First they will ask you the basic PHP things. If you'll answer that, then the next step will be the complex things. So this is very important to learn. So arrays, what are arrays, string functions in PHP, everything you all have to know. And it is not, few people think that we can just read about it and go for the interviews, but it is not possible because you all tend to forget it. So when you do everything yourself, you'll have hands-on experience. For the interviews, what the interviewer wants, that you'll have the knowledge of it. What you'll by heart, it is not checked. Meaning, if you'll just say that, yeah, that is there is somewhat something called as explode, which lets you separate the sentence into arrays. Then also they will understand that you all have worked with it. Okay, you all don't have to know the exact syntax. You all have to just show that you all have worked with it sometime. That is the real experience which you all got with it. Then for example, how you can learn PHP, make a nice e-commerce site with PHP, only PHP, JS, CSS and HTML. You all can use jQuery, but if you all use basic JavaScript, then you all will get more JavaScript concepts will be clear. Okay. So if you all make a shopping site, what you all can create with it? With PHP, you all can try doing login, registration, reset password, forgot password, everything. Then list the products, create a nice checkout page. Then cart icon pop-up also you all can make. Payment gateways you all can use with it, PayPal or anything. So sandboxes are available. So those are specially for developers to try out and test the test credit cards. So you can integrate those. And few people who already have the experience of coding in PHP, they can also create admin panel, meaning adding the products and deleting everything, which you all saw in the WordPress and all. You all can add pages and all that you all can create with basic PHP. So At the end of this, you all will learn all the concepts of PHP like strings, arrays, everything. Okay, then JS concept will be also clear, CSS, HTML. Then some at some point you all will make Ajax requests also. So you all be familiar with JSON arrays and everything. Then MySQL queries and everything you all can write. So try to write the optimal code and try to manage the folder structure of it. Okay, uh, for interviews and all, you all are given a test project to do. So PHP we can write along with the HTML inside the HTML code only, but that is not ideal thing. You all have to keep the code separate wherever it is possible. CSS file is separate, HTML file is separate, PHP file is separate, that way. So try to manage the folder structure properly. So then what y'all can do, y'all can learn any PHP frameworks like Laravel and CakePHP. I would suggest Laravel because it has many command line features available more than CakePHP. Okay. So after this, y'all will understand what are controllers, models and views and what is the ideal folder structure for arranging your code. And then after learning, after doing this project, you all can go for anything, CMS or framework. You all will understand it easily. So CMS is CMS. You all will start understanding the code also, how it is done. So if you all want to alter any plugin which you all have installed, then that also you all can do. You all can customize the themes and try these different things over there. So if you all are stuck with some code, then Stack Overflow account you all should have. Okay, you all can we have all referred to it, and there are very nice solutions available over there. So you all please make an account over there, and you all can ask the questions. Try to get the points over there. It is very nice to ask questions and get the points and badges on the Stack Overflow. It feels really good. So just make an account over there. And if you all are stuck, you all can write the question with code details you all can give over there. But please make sure not to give away your secret key and all because it can be used by someone else. Okay, so this is all. Thanks for listening to this big session. So if anyone.
Thank you everyone for joining our webinar. I hope the information provided by Trusha was valuable. And I would like to mention one thing. Please take the suggestion given by Trusha seriously. Like how she said, always while beginning or if you want to learn PHP, try small projects. Okay, and like using those projects you can explore a lot of things. And one more suggestion I would like to give you people is that what you guys can do is you can work on a shopping cart project. That's the best idea. When you work on a shopping cart project, you get to explore each and every field of web development. Like going to say there are sliders, you can explore sliders. Then there are payment gateways, checkout, then cart, everything. You can like really get good hold of PHP with that. So make sure you take this as a input and try to work on it. And remember one thing, that we are always there to help you guys. If you need any help, please feel free to reach out to either me at sanjit.kanekar@sj innovation, or also you can reach out to us on our website. You can contact there. Also, I would like to mention one more thing, that we have lot of opportunities coming up in the field of development, designing or testing. So please, if you guys are searching for any jobs or any openings, do check out our career section on sjinnovationllc.com. Also, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, because we keep on posting all the updates, lot of informative things we keep on posting. Also, once this video is done, we will be uploading the whole session on YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel like this video, and please do press the bell icon so that you are notified every time we upload the new sessions. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Bye.